Welcome to Digital Art 101 Bootcamp by Nifty Tribe, powered by Afen Blockchain Group in collaboration with Bob Labs and Adobe Express. This is an Adobe Illustrator tutorial.
Basic way on how to use Adobe Illustrator, and please, though I will not recommend that you actually be using the software while while the tutorial is tutorial is going on, because so you don't lose attention. But then please just focus, and I hope you learn and gain something from this session. So nice meeting everyone. So I'll start by sharing my screen. So I would like to know if you can see my screen. If you can't, please just indicate. If you can see my screen, you can send a message in the chat box. You can just unmute and just say hi. Okay, so I believe you all can see my screen. So before we start, I forgot to say I forgot to say that I'm also an Adobe Express ambassador. Yes, an Adobe Express ambassador. We are like the Adobe Express evangelist. So basically, what we do is just to let you know about Adobe Express and introduce Adobe Express to whatever community we're trying to introduce Adobe Express to. So this is Adobe Express. This is how Adobe Express looks like. This is Adobe Express. So Adobe Express is like a baby of Photoshop's child. So that means you cannot really do much on Adobe Express. You cannot do, yeah, it's just like they just remove maybe one or two features of Photoshop and use it to create Adobe Express. I call it the Canva of Adobe. Understand? It's similar to Canva, but it's for Adobe. So what is it? It's just basically to do simple graphics and simple videos, simple presentations. You can't do anything complex on Adobe Express. You can't do any complex picture manipulation. Yes, you can edit pictures in a very minute way, but not too complex, not as complex as Photoshop. You can't create elements, you can't create this thing, designs. Like create your own original designs. What you can do basically is just to create graphics, simple graphics, edit videos, maybe just cuts. So what they basically did is just got different features from Photoshop, from Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is the video editing tool by from Adobe. Premiere Pro and probably Illustrator. That's there's even some Illustrator features there. But then this is how Adobe Express looks like. And if you want to start, I'm supposed to send a link for you to join, to sign up to Adobe Express, because yeah, please sign up to Adobe Express. Trust me, if you want to do any simple flyer for your business, for your organization, for your church or whatever you are doing, Adobe Express is your guide. So there are different thousands of templates, posts, Facebook posts, posters, whatever, different templates you want. If you don't have, if you're not a design person and you need you don't know how to go around, no, you don't know how to put things together like this. Background. If you want to create a new project, let me just open one of the things I've done before. Let me just say this. Taking time. Sorry, my internet. Let me adjust my internet. Let me use the. So in case so this is a project I've done. This is a presentation I did some months ago. Sorry about. Hi everyone, can you hear me? So So this is a project I did some months ago. So it's a web-based software. You can also install it on your phone. You can install it on your phone, but if you are using a system, you don't need to install the software. It's a web-based system. So you can see there are different templates here, different templates you can try out, different templates you can use on Adobe Express. uh amazing templates. If you need background, we have thousands of backgrounds from Adobe stock. If you're a graphic designer, I think you should have heard of Adobe stock, where you can get different pictures, different backgrounds. So like Adobe Express gives you that access to Adobe stock, where you can get so much background. So you can see, though it is loading, but then please load fast. So you can see different kind of background. And so I just want to encourage you, if you want to do whatever, you want to create a flyer for your business, you want to create a flyer for your church, or your faith-based organization, or any faith-based organization, you want to create a flyer for whatever, for your organization or whatever, Adobe Express is your guy. And I want to encourage, I will send the link maybe after this call, so that you all can sign up and register to Adobe Express. And trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. So let's get straight to today's class. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to use Adobe Illustrator. And today I created this design 2 days ago for this particular class. So like it's an original, like it's my own thing. So for this purpose, and I called it the Afen baby. I should have even called it the Nifty baby. I don't even know, but then Afen Nifty, everything is the same. The Nifty tribe. So I created this illustration, the Afen baby, and I created this illustration 2 days ago. And I want to teach you how to use it. I use Adobe Illustrator to create this, and I want to teach you how you can go about this and how to use it. So if you're not a freehand person, trust me, you are in the right place. You're not good at freehand art, no, freehand drawing. You don't really know how to draw things with your hand normally, but you want to create art. Yes, you are at the right place, and yeah, I'm the right person for you, lol. And also for freehand guys, so I'm also here, and I hope everyone learns. So today I'm going to teach you how you can recreate this, not create this. I'm not teaching how to create, because I already created it, but then I'm teaching how you can recreate this and all. So let's start. So this is Adobe Express. Yeah, this is Adobe Express, but I've opened it already. So this is Adobe Express. This is how Adobe Express looks like. I think this is the 2020 version of 2022. I can't really remember. But this is how Adobe Express looks like. You can see some of my designs here and everything. So the first thing I will do if I want to create a file, you understand, a new project, is to create new. I'll come here to create new. And now, so I hope everybody can see my screen. Please, can you talk? I don't want to start going up and down. But please, I'd just like to hear a yes from at least one person, that I can see what I'm doing and you are.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So once I open a new project, this is after I click create new. So I can, any size I want, though these are my custom sizes, you understand? Any size I want, I can create. If I want maybe a landscape, so this one is an Instagram standard size, no, square, though it's not. Instagram standard is 1080 by 1080 pixels, but mine is in inches. So we have pixels, we have points, we have pixels, we have feet and inches, we have yards. I usually use inches for my projects. You can use pixels too. Pixels too is amazing, but I usually use inches. Not for anything, but no, inches, I don't know, it gives more details, like it's, I don't know, the resolution is higher. I guess the resolution is higher. So inches, whatever I want, I picked inches. The size, I'm going to use this my custom size. You can always change the size. You can change it to maybe 150 by 50, 150 by 50, 50 here, 50 here. Or you even want a landscape or portrait. Landscape is landscape is horizontal. That's how I used to describe landscape. Horizontal, and portrait is vertical. So if I want like let me use something like this. Now this is a landscape background, a landscape size, and this I can always change the orientation here to a portrait. But then I'm going to use this size because that's what I use for that image. Then there's nothing else to touch. Just always make sure. Then when you call me, and always make sure that your color is in RGB. Understand? RGB gives the opportunity of different and diverse colors. Like you have access to different colors. Though CMYK2 is good, but then I usually use RGB. So just click on RGB and create. Sorry, it's not responding. Okay, so now this is how my background looks like. This is how Adobe Illustrator looks like. This is the interface and everything. So let me start by introducing some features to you. So here is the menu tab. We have the file, we have the edit, we have objects, we have type, select, effect, view, window, help. So the file just contains basically like if the file, I think if you are familiar with some design tools or even Microsoft tools like Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, you should know what file usually entails. You understand? If you want to create new, if you want to save, this is what file is for. For edit, yeah, we have the undo. When we start playing, you see me using many of these things. So we have the edit tab, we have the object tab here, we have transform, arrange, whatever thing you are trying to look for. We have the type, we have the select, effect. Effect is mainly if you want to 3D-lize your art, you want to make anything, you want to maybe give blur, Gaussian blur and all those kind of things, sketch whatever you want to do. This is what effect is for. We have view tab, rotate, screen, or whatever. And so we might not really need this because this is where our major focus is on. Can you see where my mouse is? So this is where our major focus is on. So let me start by introducing each of these tools to you. So we have the selection tool. So basically the selection tool is just for you to select an object. Let me create a square here. The selection tool is basically to select an object. So one thing, I think for those who join the Figma class, this will be easy for you because that Figma class, one thing about Adobe, how I learned became perfect with Adobe Illustrator is through my knowledge from Figma. You understand? They have very similar tools, you understand? So if you were in the Figma class, you will see that some of these tools we'll be using, you also found them on the Figma software. So the direct selection tool is just to select objects. You can use it to resize, you understand? Resize objects. You can use it to move, you understand? If you want to delete, if you want to do whatever, that is what the direct selection tool is for. I'm sorry, that's what the selection tool, not direct. That's what the selection tool is for. Then we have the direct selection tool. This direct selection tool is one of my favorite tools on Adobe. I love using the direct selection tool because it makes work easy for me. So what direct selection tool is, you can always adjust an image. Now on if you use the selection tool, you can't do that. You can't adjust like a shape or whatever. You can only resize, move, select. But the direct selection tool helps you to manipulate whatever you're trying to do. You can see all I need to do is to click the anchor points. Now the anchor points Anchor points are this small, if you can see, this small point, you see that they wrote anchor. These anchor points are what's used to no, to change, to manipulate whatever shape you want to manipulate. So this anchor point, so the direct selection, to just click on the anchor point to manipulate whatever you want to manipulate. And see, from a square, I created a triangle from this square. You understand? Let me try using a circle. Let me try using a circle. You can see that this direct selection tool helps to, you understand, manipulate the shape. If you were in the Figma class, you will see something similar. Another thing is we have the pen tool. So let me delete this. We have the pen tool. Now the pen tool is, I don't usually use the pen tool. It's not one of, it's my least favorite tool. If you want to draw curves, you understand, you want to draw curves like this, or even straight line. Let me try and draw a straight line using the pen tool. If you want to draw a straight line, all you just need to do is, when you click your point, double click, then double click. You can see I'm forming a straight line. You can see how I'm forming a straight line with this. Can you see this? Double click again, because I don't want a curve to. So, or you can even form arc, different kind of arc with the pen tool. So like I said, it's like one of my least favorite tools. I don't usually use it. Then we also have the curvature tool, similar to the pen tool. It is similar to the pen tool, very complicated. I don't like, it's not also one of my favorites, but then you can see. So I doubt I'll be using this. Then another tool I use is my arc tool. I love using the arc tool, like also one of my favorite tools. So the arc tool, to enjoy using the arc tool, you have to use the direct selection tool. So you can see that these are the anchor points here, and these are the handles. So I can always manipulate this curve, you understand, to whatever angle I want. If I want the curve to be bigger, all I need to just adjust the angle and everything using the direct selection tool. Then I also have the spiral tool. If you want to create maybe any spiral shape or whatever, this is your guy. We'll be using this. Then we also have the rectangle tool, the ellipse tool for circles, the polygon tool. The polygon tool, if you want to create any shape with more than three sides, this is your guy. So you can always, when you right click, you can always increase the number of sides you want. So let's say we want 10 sides now. You can see this is it. You want 10 sides, you want 20, and you can always adjust. You can always use a selection tool to adjust. You can always adjust. Please, if you have any question, let me know. I would really appreciate if somebody is reading out the questions for me. Then we have the star tool. You want to create a star, this is also for you. We have the star tool. We have the line segment tool. You want to create straight lines, you understand, perfectly straight lines. Yeah, this is for you. Then we have the paintbrush. Now, if you're a freehand guy, I think you will really enjoy using the paintbrush. Now, one thing about the paintbrush is that you can always adjust it to any style you want. So now this is where the paintbrush is. If you want to also access it, you can go to Windows and see brushes. So what I basically did was I dragged brushes here to this point. Let me try and drag maybe another. Let me try and drag color. Okay, color is already here. I think color is here. Let me try and drag color. I don't think color is here. Okay, so what I'll just do is put it here. Can we all see this? So what I did was just, you can always go to Windows. If you want to access the brush tool, then for easy, just drag. Once you click, you just drag it to this point. So you can increase the size of your brush. You can increase the size of your brush. You can also try different ones, try different brush styles. You understand? You can try different brush styles. You can increase the you can increase the size. You can increase the size. You can see I increase the size here. You can always increase the size once you double click. You can, and another amazing thing about the brush is that you can actually create your own brush. Like you can create your own brush. So let me show you how to create your own brush. So I want to create my own unique brush. So this is a circle now. You can create your own brush style. Let me use the direct selection tool. So I want my brush style to be like this. Let me just do something, something, something. Let me increase my stroke so that I can see this very well. So this is my brush style. So let's just do this like a rough sketch. So what I need to do, I'll just drag this to this place. You understand? Put it under scatter brush, art brush, or whatever. And you understand? I'll just, if I want to increase the size, I increase it. If I want to increase the spacing, whatever. But I'm not going to do that here. And now I've created my own brush. Now if I click the brush tool, I can always, can you see this? I created my own unique brush. So if you're an artist, and maybe you want to draw like a braid style, and you want to keep that template, I will advise that you create it and save it under any of your brush. If you also want to do something, let me do something like a flower. Let me use Alt to create different. So what I'm doing now to copy, you can always use copy and paste, but then if you are not using copy and paste, you can always click on the object, then drag click on Alt on your system and drag it. That's another way to copy and paste. So let me fill this with probably yellow, understand? And let me remove the stroke. I don't want those lines to show. I can reduce the opacity and group them. Can you see what I'm doing? Let me reduce the size because I don't want it to be so big. So now I want to have a flower brush. All I need to do is just drag it, put on that scatter brush, definitely. And yeah, I think this is fine. This settings is fine for me. And I have my brush. So what I can do is I just need to go here, and you will see that I have a flower brush here. Can you see this? I can also click circle, maybe create a shape, and create this outline. It automatically aligns. Can you see what I'm doing? Let me remove all this so I can see very well. It automatically aligns. Hope we are seeing this. So I can always do this. If you increase the stroke, it becomes bigger. So you can always create your own brush style using the brush tool. Then we have the type tool. The type tool, if you want to create text and whatever, there are different fonts you can always access. Then we have the circle tool. We have the circle. So we have the rotate. The rotate is basically just to rotate any object. You understand? If I want to rotate this object, let me know if circle. Circle is, let me use a square. Let me create a square. So now I'll just, to rotate it, I can always use the rotate tool. You can see this. Let me change this stroke to black. Looking to and increase my, so I can always increase this this stuff. I can always, but then you don't even need to use the rotate tool. Basically, you can just, if I zoom in and go very close to the shape, I can always rotate it once this sign comes up. You understand? So I don't even need to stress myself going to the rotate tool. It's stressful. I just do it directly like this. So the next one is the eraser tool. I don't usually use the eraser tool. No, I'm not a fan of the eraser tool, but you can always use it to erase. It always leaves marks. That's why I don't like. I don't know how to. I really don't know how to use it. But then another one I use a lot is the scissors tool. So the scissors tool, if you don't want this point to show, you can see how I removed that line. You can see how I removed that line using the scissors tool. An amazing tool too. Then one of my favorites, if not, in fact, this is even my favorite tool. The the shape builder tool, one of my favorite tools on Adobe Illustrator, and trust me, I'll be using this tool a lot in this class. So the shape builder tool basically is to join elements together. What shape builder tool is used for is to join different elements together. If you want to join different elements, if you want to remove a particular part or maybe an object, if you want to remove excesses, you want to remove maybe an excess line, maybe the line is coming out of whatever you are drawing and you want to remove it. This is your guy. The shape builder tool is your guy. So let me show you how to use the shape builder tool. So I want to join these two guys together, or I want to remove this oval space and create a space in between these two circles. So what I do is to highlight both of them, or Control A, and I click on the shape builder tool, and I want to join. Let's say I want to remove this. What I will do is, you can see that there's like a grayish grid line, showing. So one thing about the shape builder tool, it doesn't work for elements that are not joined together, and I will explain that. So you can see that there's this gray stuff here, like this grid line showing here. So what I'll basically do, I'll click on ALT. I'll first click on ALT, then remove. Can we see this? And now we have a unique shape. I'll group this so that this doesn't separate from each other. Can you see this? So now we have a very unique shape. If I want to also, let's say I want to join two elements. Let me create a square. If I want to join two elements now together, I want to join these three together. What will I do? I'll Control A, like select everything, click on the shape builder tool, then click on Shift to join these three elements together. It becomes one element. Can you see that this has become one element? So it's a very amazing tool. Trust me, you're not going to. It makes work easier. Though it has its own complications, especially if you're not careful. It has its own complication, but it's very amazing. Then what I was explaining something about shape builder tool not working for elements that are not like joined together. And what do I mean? Okay, for example, let me create a line. Let me create a triangle. Now this triangle, if you notice, there's a space here. Can you see there's a space here? If I select everything and I want to use the shape builder tool, that gray stuff that showed when I use that circle is not going to show here. It's not going to show here because of this space. But I can always remove these excess lines using the Alt key. Just click on Alt and I remove the excess lines. Can you see this? Understand? But I can't maybe color. I can't color this shape. So what do I do now? Control Z. So I want to make this. I want to use the shape. I want to color this because I cannot color this. I cannot color the middle of this triangle except I use the brush tool. You understand? I don't have time. I don't want to start because brush tool can be stressful. I don't want to start brushing. So what do I do? Sorry. You do like segment. What do I do? I make sure like this line overlaps this line. So if you want to enjoy the shape, make sure your lines are intercepting, that they are overlapping each other. We can always remove the excesses using the shape builder tool, but make sure they are overlapping each other. And when I do that, you can see that grid line is showing, that grid stuff is showing in between. So I can always pick a color. Let me pick a color here, yellow, and boom. So you see, I don't need to even use the brush tool. I cannot do it directly, but I must make sure that there is no space. So I want to remove the line. I just click ALT and remove these excess lines. You understand? Just remove these excesses. But always make sure they are overlapping. And now we have a color triangle. You understand? We have a color triangle. Then another one is the color picker. The color picker, I think that was explained yesterday, but for those that did not join yesterday's class, Let me make this black. So I want to make this color yellow. You understand? I want to make it yellow. What do I base? I just take the color picker, select the color I want, and now it's on. So color picker, yeah, I think there'll be times we will use it just to please close the door. We use it. Then the width tool, I don't usually use this one. The width tool, just you want to increase the width of maybe a curve, a shape, or whatever. This is your guy. Then the anchor point tool, we have the anchor point tool. Now I have a triangle here, and the triangle has 4 anchors on its own. When you click the direct selection tool, 4 anchors here. So I want to add an extra anchor. Understand? So that maybe I can create an envelope or something. Here, I just come here, and you can see. So the anchor is just to add extra anchors to your maybe your lines, your shape, or whatever you are doing. Then we have we're not going to be using this guy blend tool. We're not going to be using this guy so much. We have I think this one is made basically for 3D guys. You have the artboard, so you want to increase the artboard size. You can see you want to increase the artboard size, but then we're not doing that. I want the size. Then we have the grid lines. If you are familiar with Figma, you understand. If you are familiar with no, this is just for I don't think I've used this particular tool before, but then the grid lines is here. This is where grid lines is. This ruler, under this ruler and grid, but then we're not using it. I don't need it. We have the zoom in and zoom out. Then if you want to also access more tools, you can see these 3 dots where they wrote edit toolbar. You can always click on it and drag whatever tool you want to drag. You understand? You can drag whatever tool you want to drag. You can, understand. Let me drag this. Though I don't need it though, but then I don't want to mess up my. So you can always drag it. You understand? You can always drag it like this, but then I don't need it. So if you want to access more tool, you can always drag it. Then I forgot to mention this amazing tool too, gradients. This gradient tool, because that's, if you check this image, that image I created, you see that the background has kind of like multiple colors. Can we see it has the background has different colors, like a blend of different colors. So I use the gradient tool to actually achieve this. So I go to my fill. You can see the gradient tool here, and we have, it helps you to mix colors in an amazing way. Like you can always use this one, this type. You can use this type. Maybe I want to form a molecule now. If you're a science guy, you know what a molecule is, or do something unique. You can see. So the gradient tool is, trust me, is an amazing tool. You will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. I noticed that it makes your work kind of slow, because but then if you have a very high processing laptop, you will really enjoy it. So that's basically it. Then I come here to this property segment. Property segment is where you will find the element size, the element height. This is where this XY represents the element position. Understand? So if I move this square now, you realize that XY will change. Can you see this? If I change the size, the HW will change. W is the width, H is the height. So then if I rotate this, the angle will change. You get? The angle will change. I can always flip vertically, horizontally. Then you also find the fill. I want to fill it. I don't want I'm using yellow today, but then you can always fill it. This one represents no fill. If you don't want any fill in between your elements, this is it. Then we have the stroke. The strokes are the lines. That's what you call stroke. I can always change the color. Then I can also remove the stroke and make it invisible. You can see nothing is showing, but that shape is there. You can always feel it, but there is no stroke. You understand? Many illustrators use this feature. They don't. If you look at a lot of illustrators, they don't use stroke, or maybe design guys, Then I can also reduce the opacity, like the make it transparent, make it translucent or whatever. I hope you are following. Then we have where you can align, align. That's when there are two elements though. Then we have the off parts, offset parts, whatever, arrange. I think I've spent so much time talking about this. And though you need to know the basics, it's important you know the basics. This you will enjoy these tools when when there is when there are two elements. That's when you can really, really enjoy this. So we have the layers. I'll be showing how to do this when we start properly. Then we have the libraries. I don't usually use this library segments. So I think I've tried my best in introducing these elements to you. Now let's start. Let's start. Let's create our baby. Understand? So if you check now, if you are not a freehand person, like you don't know how to draw freehand, you can always create your art in one page. You understand? You can always create. I mean create or not recreate. There's something called create, another thing called recreate or replicate. You can always create your art on one page. You understand? You are a freehand guy. Let me use I don't think I introduced the pencil tool to you. Pencil tool is just like the pencil, but then I don't think there's time for that. So you can always, you understand, and you will enjoy that more if you have a graphics tablet or I think they call it sketch tab. If you have a sketch tab, trust me, you're going to enjoy creating freehand arts on Illustrator. You understand? Me, I don't have a graphics tablet, so you notice that my circle self is looking like kwashoko. You understand? It's not looking very beautiful. But if you have a graphics tablet, you will really, really enjoy it. And that's why a lot of people use, many freehand guys, they use Procreate. Procreate is not an Adobe tool, but it's one popular tool that a lot of artists use. So if you're a freehand guy, you can do your whatever on one page. But if you're not a freehand guy, but you want to draw art, you understand? I won't really advise you to use the layers tool because it can be confusing. So let me show you. When I was creating this, you can see that I have a page for background. I have one for body. Let me open them one by one. I have one for background. I have one for body. I have one for eyes, nose. Because I don't want it, because no, I'm not a freehand person. My freehand is not, and I don't have a graphics tablet to enjoy freehand. I don't have a graphics tablet to enjoy freehand. So I usually do each part in different I create a new template and create each part. Maybe I'm doing a full body. Now you can see that now I created the stomach, the body on this particular page. The eyes and nose too. I had a different I think I closed it by mistake, sorry. I had a different page for the eyes and nose because I don't want anything to confuse me, and I don't want to use the layer. Though I'll be showing how to use the layer too, but then I don't want anything to confuse me. So if you are creating, not replicating or recreating, if you are creating something new, if you are creating an original, this is the best way to do it. Though I always advise that you find always find something that works for you. I always advise that you find something that works for you regardless of, but then this is what works for me, and I'm just advising you that this is one way you can always do things. You should find something that works for you. So the best way, create your elements on different pages. If you are creating something fresh, creating something new. See, I did the face here. I know this is my outline basically. This is my outline. I did the face here. It's like creating different sketchbooks. You get creating different sketchbooks. And then when I was done with all this is where I created the face. This is where I created the face. This is where I created the eyes. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, and everything. So when you are done with this, when I was done with all this and I brought them together, I created a new template again, a new page, and I joined everything together here. I came here, copied and I joined everything together on this page. So if you are creating something fresh and you are not a freehand person, this is the best way to create it. But if you are not, today we're not going to be creating something fresh. We're going to be replicating this image. If you're not going to be creating something fresh, this is how you can do it. So let's assume, sorry, I'm trying to close all these tabs because I don't want. So if you are, let's assume you have sketched out whatever you want to do. You understand? You have an idea of what you want to do. You have sketched out whatever you want to do. So let's call this our sketch. This is our sketch. This is our sketch. Can you see this? This is our sketch. I want to replicate this image. Please, if you're asking any question, I will really enjoy if somebody is reading out the questions. Okay. I don't think there's any question. So let's. Okay, you have a question. Please, can you be audible? I can't really hear you.
Oh, sorry. I was saying I had a question. Can you hear me now?
Yes, a little bit, but you can go on.
Wait, hold on. Let me try and fix that.
Or can you type your question?
Okay.
I'll try my best. Yeah. Okay, I can hear you now.
Is that better?
Yes.
I was going to ask, you were talking about creating like different parts.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know the difference between doing that and just creating them in different layers. Like
So if you are creating, okay, yeah, that's a very good question. So if you are creating on different layers, let me open this. Let me open let me use this. No, let me use this. So here you can see I have different elements here. I have the eyes, I have the nose. So the layers, what the layers helps you to do is you can, this is where you can create new layer. Let me just create new layer, like 2 more layers. So what I do basically is this particular square, this particular element that I clicked on, I will drag it to this layer and probably rename it. Maybe I'll call it background. Sorry, I'm sorry. That was very background. Can you see it? So this background is on this layer. But you notice that this background has covered those eyes and the ear, whatever I drew there. So what I do is I click on it and drag it below layer 1. You understand? Make sure that line is showing. You can see. So layers, now that I have the background, I can always, if I don't want this, if I want to make this invisible, I don't want this to show, maybe it's going to be distracting me, I will click on that toggle tool to make it invisible. I can always remove it and add it back. Let me also click on this, maybe these 2 elements here. These 2 elements, I move it to layer 3 and rename layer 3 eyes. So what I do basically is I can always, if I don't want this thing to show, maybe it is distracting me and I don't want it to show, let me move it under layer 1 because I want those white stuff to show. I don't want those things to show because maybe I will draw something on it again. Maybe I want to draw a face or a circle on it. But I don't want that stuff to show. What I can do is just to click on the toggle tool and you see it has gone. So if you are working on layers, this is how you do it. This is how you use it. For me, like I said earlier, do what works for you. You understand? Find your niche, do what works for you. This doesn't work for me because I don't want to say I don't want my whole work to be disorganized and I don't want to confuse myself when I'm creating. So this doesn't work for me. But if you know that you won't be, whatever you are doing won't distract you, or you won't If you don't want, if you know you're not going to be disorganized, you can always use the layers tool. So I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
more a situation of personal preference, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So you can
Okay,
always,
got you.
yeah. So I personally, I just create a new tablet, a new template. I don't bother because it stresses me out for me. Like, so I don't bother. Let me just control Z, or let me just cancel it without saving.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so now let's assume this is our rough sketch. I tried to sketchify this image. I was looking for, we have colorize, we have move BG. So I was looking for maybe sketchify, but I wasn't finding. So I just said, let me just turn everything to black and white and make this look like our sketch. So let's say this is our sketch now, and we want to recreate this using shapes and lines. So what I'm basically teaching you today is how to use shapes, lines. Especially if you're not a freehand person, is how to use shapes, lines to create digital art. Understand? If you're not a freehand person, how to use shapes, how to use lines, how to use whatever to create digital art. So this is our sketch. So let me, for the sake of this class, I'll be using the layer tool for the sake of this class. Normally I'll not have, because like I said, I don't really like it, but then for the sake of this class, I'll be using it. Let me just shift this here because I want it to. I don't. So we have this. The next thing I'm going to do, because I don't want the lines of this image to reflect too much of what I'm doing. I'm going to reduce the opacity. Let's reduce to about 50. So I'm going to reduce the opacity. Let me reduce it more. Let me reduce it to 40. So I can start whatever I'm doing. So let's start with the face. So I'll take my ellipse tool. You understand? I'll take my ellipse tool. No. You're on the wrong layer. I want it to be on this layer. I want whatever I'm doing to be on this layer. Yeah. So I'll take my ellipse tool and I can always resize. I'll click my selection tool, resize this on. Sorry. So if I want to zoom is Control plus plus. I don't know. I think the one for MacBook is Command plus. If you are using any Apple product, for MacBook will be Control Command. I guess so. So I take my direct selection tool to start manipulating this circle. So let me take on these anchor points. Let me click on this anchor point. So like I said, if you were in that Figma class, some of these things will not be strange to you, because if you can use Figma, trust me, you will not have issues with Adobe Illustrator. You will not have issues, so much issues. So why I don't like using okay, so my stroke, I forgot to tell you, you can always increase your stroke size. You can always increase your stroke size here. So you can see how I'm using the handles on the anchor tool to align this shape. You can see how I'm using the handles on the anchor tool to align this shape. This is not on this line. So I just want to make it very, very perfect, at least. Even though not entirely perfect, but then let me shift this anchor to this place. Yay! Oh, there you go. Always make use of your zoom in, zoom out to help. Yeah, so I think this is perfect. Let me log this and see. Yeah, I think this is okay, and it also aligns with whatever I'm doing. Why are you in black? I want you to be in, yeah, black. Yeah, thank you. So this is good. This is okay. Yeah. So now this is, you see how it aligns with the, I use the circle to align this with so the next one I'm going to use. So though I didn't sketch this house, I would just like to say I didn't sketch this image out. I created it for my mind. I don't know. Though it's not, this is not pride, but then I think I have this kind of creative mind where I can just, I imagine things a lot. You understand? I imagine things a lot, and it helps me create even without sketching out. You understand? It helps me create things even without sketching out what I'm creating. But you can always sketch before you start using, you start doing things like this. Just sketch out whatever you want to do. Sketch it out. Now, what many illustrators, they do that. Just sketch out whatever you want to do. Then do it the way I'm doing it. You know, put it create a layer and reduce the opacity and trace out your sketch. Understand? Trace out your sketch. So the next thing, let me reduce this part because it's kind of, I don't want it to disturb whatever I'm doing here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take the anchor, the arc tool. Now for this point here, those cheeks, for the cheeks, I'll take the arc tool for the cheeks. Let me reduce the opacity of this image more. Kind of distracting. I think this is better. So I take the arc tool, take my direct selection tool, and I begin to adjust. Control plus, zoom in. So you see that I'm pushing this, like I said, because I'm going to be using this shape builder tool. I'm making sure that my this thing is overlapping. You understand? The lines are they are going into that circle I created. That's ellipse, this thing I created, because I'm going to use the shape builder tool, and I don't want a situation whereby I'm trying to color now and that gray stuff is not showing. I click on this one too, click on the anchor point, adjust it well, adjust it here, and so I hope you are following. If you have any question, please ask, please ask. Then I think this looks okay to me. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is okay. I think this is okay. What else? Let me do the ears. Let me create a line for the ears. So you see that art is not just restricted to those that can do things freehand. They are very good with, that can draw without this thing. Art is very broad, and you can do whatever you want to do, whether you know how to even draw freehand or you know how to do this thing. So I move to this next one, and how I started, because all this whole thing just started because of my love for cartoons. I love cartoons so much, and just inspired me to start this. So wait, let me increase. I hope you are following. I'd like to hear yes from anybody. Then the chin. The chin. So you always, sometimes there are times where you get a situation whereby you don't see, when you are drawing an arc, sometimes you don't see the handle. You understand? The handle is used to adjust, like I explained earlier. You will see that the hand, sometimes the handle is always hidden. So one thing you can always do, just click on parts and the handle will come out by itself. You understand? The handle will always come out by itself. Just click on the part and you see the handle to come out. Click on part and drag it. Yes. Click on part and drag it and the handle will come out by itself. So now let me reshape it to this point, and okay, I think our face is ready. That was fast. I was expecting it to be slower though, but then I think this is okay. Let me increase this line because I want it to intercept very well. And let me adjust this. So I think it is okay. Okay. Yeah. This is okay. This looks good. Yeah. So what's the next thing I'm going to do now? Let me mute this. Now we have the face. So the next thing I'm going to do is to select everything. Control A, or I think there's a pointer that is showing. I don't want this. Or you just drag it to select. So once I'm done, I click my direct selection tool to make this a perfect element. You understand? I want to make a very perfect element. And I remove this. I don't need this line. So what I'm going to do is click on the Alt key. That's Alt. Remove this. You can see that gray stuff is showing. It's important if you're using direct selection tool. I remove this excess here. Wait, before I do that, I have this obsession of always saving my outline first. So that when I make a mistake, I don't just remember I make a mistake and I'll not start repeating. No. So let me just copy and paste this and keep it somewhere. So let me just keep it somewhere. See that I just want to say, because I don't want to remember I make a mistake and I'll start creating. No. Let me select this and start removing these excess lines. I don't need you. So now we have a perfect shape. We have a perfect face. Yes. Now let me use my scissors to just remove this one. I don't want that stuff to show. I don't want that line to be too protruding. Take my scissors again. Cut it a little bit. Zoom. A little bit. Okay. Let me take scissors and cut this place too. Cut this place too. Because I don't want this. You can see how I'm using these tools, you understand, to achieve this face. So what would I do? So the next thing I'm going to do, because I don't want a situation whereby I'm working and this one is, I mistakenly remove this. No, I don't want that. Control Z. What I'm going to do is select this. I hope that gray stuff. Yeah, amazing. Select this and group it. Make it a group. You understand? You can see. If you want to make it a group, all you need to do is select and right click, or you go to objects. Is it objects? No. You go to objects and you see group here. You understand? So you either select everything, right click, or so you see I've grouped it and you can always ungroup, but I don't want to ungroup. So now this is now one element. So the next thing I want to do is let me turn this on. The next thing I want to do is the eyes. Or let's do the ear first. Let's do the ear. So I'm going to be sending this outline. So I think I made a mistake here. But then it's fine. We can always do things our own way. Change things, you understand? Let me see my image. We can always tweak it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly the same thing, but we can always tweak things up. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. So I said I wanted to do the ear. Let me zoom in very well. I don't want. So for the ear, let me take my no, you're not supposed to be here now. Let me take my. So one thing to know if you are on another layer is by the color. You see, that's why the color is important. That's why how I knew that that line was not on that blue layer, on the layer I wanted it to be. So I take this, put it here, put it here, put it here. I use the handles to adjust, like I said earlier. Use the handles to make any adjustments you want to make. And boom. Okay. Yeah. So after that, I take this same arc tool. So I took the same arc tool and let me see. Let me just do it in such a way that it's supposed to be like this. I drag this up a little bit. So I hope you are following, and I hope you. So now we have it. So what I'm going to do, like I did for the face, I'm going to take my and make sure that stuff is showing. Remove the excesses. Yeah, amazing. And I will make it a group. I can always create another layer for this. I will, for the purpose of this class, I will create another layer for this. So let's move to the nose. The nose. Oh no, let's move to this one first. Let me do this one first. So I take the ellipse tool. Why are you always on the wrong layer? Okay. Take the ellipse tool. Understand? My direct selection tool, and I align it. I align it in such a way that everything matches what I'm doing. Okay, I think this is okay. Yeah, I think this is okay. This is okay. I move to the next one. Do the same thing for the next. No, this is not okay. Let's just do it like this. Yeah, this is fine. I move to the next one. I am sorry. I have this affection stuff like this, and I always want to make everything perfect. So I just want to make sure it is aligning with the traces. Sorry. That's one thing about it. One part will be moving while they are adjusting the other parts. Let's just leave it like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, but then we have, you know what I'm trying to do here. Move to the next one. Do the same thing. Click my direct selection tool. Do the same thing. Always make use of your Control Z, in case you notice that something is wrong somewhere, you made a mistake. Control Z is there for you. I think this is okay too. We have the eyebrow. Now let me, before I do the eyes, let me do the nose. The nose, snail. Nose. Take this, my direct selection tool. Take this anchor point, bring this out because I don't want. So I'd like to hear a hi from anybody to know that we are here. Let me just draw this times down. So this one, I don't need to overlap anything because I'm not coloring. I don't need to paint inside the stuff. If you have any question, please do well to ask. If you're not clear about anything I'm doing here, just let me know. Sorry, I'm trying to see this stuff very well. Okay. Yeah. I think this is better. Let's see. Yeah. So what I'll just do, because I'm seeing some tiny excess lines coming out, and I don't want that to show. What I'll just do is remove those excess lines using direct selection tool. So like this, you can see this is showing here. I don't, oh, no, we adjust that, don't worry. This is showing. Which one that one is showing? This one is showing. I don't want it to show. Yeah, I don't want it to show. Which other one? I think that is all. So all I just need to do now is to reduce this point here. Reduce a little bit. Yeah, so this is better. So if you want to select multiple, I did not mention this. I'm very sorry. If you want to select multiple elements, just click down on Shift. And after I want to select the like this multiple, I want to select these elements. I just click Shift and select. So that's how you select multiple elements. So let's move to the eyes. So I want to draw a perfect circle. To draw a perfect circle, you understand? A perfect circle. Click on Shift and draw it. You can see that two lines are showing in between this thing. If I also want to adjust it, click on Shift and adjust. So one thing shift helps to do is, apart from drawing a perfect shape, you understand, it helps to when you're reducing the size, it helps to maintain this, the size of that shape. Understand? It helps to maintain this. You can see now. If I'm not right now. I'm not okay. Let me stop clicking Shift. You can see that it has changed. You can see that it has changed because I'm not clicking Shift. It has changed because I'm not. But if I click Shift now, it's going to maintain that size. Can you see it? So let me do another one. I want to do, because I think I did a perfect circle for that stuff for the eyes when I was creating it. The perfect circle. Let me see if it aligns. Yes. So I have my perfect circle. I do the same thing here for this point here. My perfect circle. Okay. The next thing I want to do are the inner circles, the inner ones, the inner guys. I do this too. So for those, I'll be sending this sketch so that we all can replicate it. You understand? We all can always replicate it and see. And I would love to see you guys. I'd like to see what you guys did. I'd like to see what you guys replicated. I'd like to see. So I'm sending this image when we are done. I'm sending this background image to the group, so everybody can do their own baby. You understand? And color it the way they want to. Color your baby the way you want to. And so I think everybody's understanding, because this class is so quiet and I'm not hearing like, oh, Simi. I just want to believe that we all understand what I'm doing here. And
I think Blessing has a question.
Okay, Blessing, please can you unmute and speak? Thank you.
Sorry, please, where I am is kind of noisy. I dropped it in the chat box.
Okay, drop this in the chat. I don't know if somebody can read Blessing's question.
She said she didn't understand the removal of the tiny points.
The tiny point. Okay, I think I'm still going to do that.
Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the part I was asking was when you were the nose, when you removed those excesses,
Yeah.
like how
Okay.
you remove it.
Okay, yeah, I used that. I did it through the direct selection tool. Coming. Let me just quickly adjust this. So I did it using the direct selection tool. So this is what I did basically. Let me just do something here. So the first thing I did was to select it. Understand? The first thing I did was to select it. Then this is the shape builder tool. I'm sorry, the shape builder tool. Then I want to remove this one. I remove. I want to really remove this one. I remove. I want to remove. So that is what I did, Blessing. So I hope you understand. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it is. Because you said direct selection, that was why I got
Yeah, sorry. I'm very sorry. Shape builder tool. It's shape builder
All right,
tool.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So the next thing is so because I want to that laughing effect. I added that laughing effect to make it look like, oh yeah, the baby is really laughing. And so I just use the act tool. I use the act tool and I hope we finish this on time. So now we have the eyes, the beautiful eyes, beautiful eyes. So let me just use this. So what I want to do, I want to color the eyes down. I want to color both of them down. Let me just save this one somewhere. And so what color should we use for the eyes? Should we use blue like you saw in the image? Should we use blue? I'd like you guys to unmute and I would like to hear should we use blue eyes or what color? Green, yellow, brown? Hi everybody.
Brown.
Okay. Let's do brown. So I'm going to take this first circle. Though you might not see it, but you will see it later. I'm going to fill it with white. So this is in white. Then the next one, brown. So one thing, always note your colors. Always note your colors. It helps a lot. Always note the colors you are using. I'm going to save this color code somewhere. I always save my color codes because I don't want a situation whereby, because colors are very sensitive, very very sensitive. Like the you might think it's the same color, though it might be brown, but then it's another shade of brown. So I'm going to know this color code somewhere. Let me quickly do that. I always note my color codes. That's for me. I don't know how, like I said, do what works for you. I always note my color codes, and this is how I do them. I don't want a situation whereby I don't want a situation whereby I'm trying to this is how I note my color code. So I know that this color code is what I use for the eyes. I don't need to save white because white is FFFFF. If you are familiar with colors, white is standard FFFFFFFF. That is white. I think black is 1 1 or 0 0 0 0 0. I think we'll check. So this will be black. No, before I do this, let me do those smaller ones. Smaller ones, let me make it white. I make the stroke white. Or let me just select everything at once rather than do this one by one. So you can always select everything at once and fill it at once to save time. It helps too. So let me select this, and make it black. So we have our beautiful eyes. The beautiful eyes. And now I think the next thing right now, I want to remove those excesses. This part. I want to remove this part. So like I said, select first, take your shape builder tool. And no, I can always color. You see that these gray lines are showing. I can always color with. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I can always color with the shape builder tool, but I don't want to do that for this. I just felt like I should just do this normally. So like I said, like I always say, do what works for you. When I'm done, I group the eyes. Let me group it. Make it a group. So we are done with the eyes. Now let me move to the mouth. Take my layer and put this on. So I'm going to create layers, different layers for each of these. I'm still going to create layers for the eyes, for the mouth, for everything. So let me take. So the mouth, what I did when I was creating the mouth, I used the ellipse tool. I used the ellipse tool to create the mouth. Sorry. I used the ellipse tool and I used the arc tool to create the mouth. So I'll show you how I did it. I used the ellipse tool, I used the arc tool. Let me rotate this a little bit. Nah, didn't have any effect. So because this is not, will I say mountain? It's not like, okay, so it's until I drag it. You can see that it was until I dragged. Let me just push it down first. So right now, I think I need to group those other elements, because that mouth now, the eyes is blocking and I don't want anything to affect or mess anything up. So let me create a layer for the, let's call this eyes. This is how you create layers. I'll put it up because I don't want it to overlap. The eyes. Let's create another layer for the eyebrow. Okay, layer 4. That's why eyebrow. Which other one? The inner ear. No, let's do for the nose. So these ones, they will not overlap because they're on different positions. But then let's do the ear. So the person that was asking for layers, you can see what I'm doing. So to not put each of these elements in their respective layer, I just pick it, then push it to whatever points they are on. The eyebrow too. Where is the eyebrow? Push it to the eyebrow layer. What else? The eyes. Push the eyes to the eyes layer. So these things are covering. Why is the eyes not showing? Okay, it is under background. Wait though. Which layer is our background on, safe? Okay, I covered it. Seems like our background has disappeared. I'm busy just me. Can't find our background. I didn't name it. I'm so sorry about this. I didn't name it. Background. One is always down. Eyes. I'm sorry for the mistake. The eyes. The eyes, the ear. The ear. The nose. Nose. So what else? The eyebrow. We'll also do the mouth too. Eyebrow. And the mouth. All this the mouth here. The mouth. So the eyes, shoot it to the eye point. The eyebrow. Shoot the eyebrow to the eyebrow points. The ear. Shoot it to the ear points. The ear layer. The nose. Shoot the nose to the nose layer. Shoot the nose to the nose layer. And now I'm trying to do the mouth. And I'm doing the mouth to the mouth layer. So because the eyes like are kind of like obstructing what I'm doing, I will mute it so that I can see very well, see whatever I'm doing very well. And I'm on this layer now. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my arc tool, because I want to make it align. So I think this is okay. Then for the teeth, okay, let me do the tongue first. The tongue. I used two arc lines. Sorry. So this one, I'm going to extend the line. I am extending this line because I want it. I'm going to use the direct selection tool on it. You get. I'm extending this line as well. So I'm going to use the direct selection tool on the line. So I don't know. Seems like our circle is looking somehow. Okay. So for the teeth, I'm going to use the rectangle tool. Now I'm going to use the rectangle tool for the teeth. And how will I use the rectangle tool? Now you can see that the teeth, there are curves here. Now if you check out the rectangle tool, inside the rectangle tool, you notice that there are some points. You can see these points inside. Can you see these points? Now these points are to curve a part in the rectangle tool like this. If I select this, you see it has become a curve. You understand? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on Shift and select 2 points because I need those 2 points to be archy. So now I have them, and the next thing I will do is to align it to my align it to my push up. So we have the teeth. So we have the teeth now. Can you see what I'm doing? So rather than create another rectangle, I'll just copy and paste this. I can always do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, or I'll click on Alt and drag. You can see how I clicked on Alt. I'll just click on Alt and drag. But then I want this to be a line, so our teeth might change a little bit. So I might just extend this so that I still do the same thing, but then so you can see what I did here. So I do the same thing down. This time around, I'll just copy and paste it. Select both of them, copy and paste it. Then I don't tell you this function. You can always reflect, you can always rotate. So to reflect, just click on object, transform, and you see reflect, scale, rotate, move. But I don't need to go through that stress. I'll just right click and I'll see transform here. Then reflect it. You understand? You can always reflect, but this time I'm not reflecting. I want to rotate. I want to rotate. So I can always use that rotate stuff, but then I'll rotate to 180 degrees. 180. Sorry, that was a mistake. I'll rotate to 180. 180. I think 180 is, yeah. That's what I did. So you must also know your angles. So angles are important. Knowing the angles are very, very important. Let me just adjust it a little bit. Shift it here. Yeah, this is fine. So we have the mouth. We have our mouth. We have our mouth. What I'm going to do, let me, this background looks like a cat with whiskers, but then, well, so Ctrl C, keep this element somewhere because there's a mistake. I don't want to start. What I'm going to do now is use my direct selection tool. Use it to remove these excess lines, excess whatever that is showing. Click on the Alt key and start removing whatever I need to remove. I should even color the teeth, but then I can always do that. So we have our beautiful mouth. So let me color the teeth first. The teeth is white. Those properties, fill with white. Let me just select everything together and fill with white. So it's easier to do this because that was a shape. If they were lines now, it would have been, you will not be able to fill easily. But then, so we have this done. This is done. I think let me click my layer, put everything on. So I think we are done with the face. The only thing left is the eyes, right? Let me call this face. I mean let me push this down here. The only thing that is left is that mark on the mouth and this hair. So I'll just add this hair to the face. Let me complete the mouth. The mouth is not complete. There's a tiny mark here to just show that the laughing is visible. Use my actual. I hope we are following paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I think that is it. Then the hair. I showed you something like a spiral tool. I introduced the spiral tool to you. Let me go to the face because that's where I will need. Oh, let me not do the hair now. I'll do the hair later. So we have our face. The face is complete. Yes, the face is complete. Then let's move to the body. So let me close everything here apart from the background. Or let's should we color the face now or let's do that later? Let's color the face now. Let's color the face now. So let's color the face now. So I want to focus on just the face for now. I'll mute this and I want to. So from the image, I have the color I use. Let me open that. Where is it? I have the color. No, like I said, I saved my color codes. I save my color codes. You might be a professional colorer, so you might not know, but then I mean colorist or whatever English it is. So these are my color codes. I saved everything here. I'll just copy and paste them, and for this purpose, I'll put them here. So the face tone, I want to paint the face. No, one thing. Sometimes when you use lines and arc to create an element like I did for the face, you need the direct selection tool to color. Why did I say it? Let me show you something. If I don't use direct selection tool, let me just use fill straight up. FFCC99. And see what happened. Can you see what happened? Because I used lines, shapes, and everything. I did not use like a circle directly. I used lines, I used shapes, I used an arc. No, sorry, I used lines and arc. You understand? I was able to color that seat because it was a shape. Understand? It was a shape. If you look at these points here, the reason why this part is colored is because I used a circle and I cut the circle from this point. So that's why it's important to when you're using lines and arc to create an element, it's better to use the direct why am I saying direct selection tool? The shape builder tool. I'm sorry. You have to use the shape builder tool to color, or you use the paint brush. Where's the paint brush? Use the paint brush to color whatever you want to color. I'll just change the stroke. Let me change the color of the stroke to this, the FFCC99. Understand? I'll use the paint brush. I can always increase, like I said earlier, you can always increase the points. If you're using a paintbrush, you understand, you can always increase the points to whatever. But me, I'm not using the paintbrush. I don't want to use the paintbrush. So I'll just do my own thing straight up. I use the shape builder to straight up to paint my stuff. So I click on, this is it, FF. So the color code is FFCC99. Okay. And boom, we have our face now. So the next now to paint now is the mouth. Where's our mouth? Sorry. So the mouth, sorry, the color codes are on that stuff. I'll just copy and paste another one. I'll just note it. So the tongue is F542246. Yeah, this might seem weird, but that's how I work. Oh. I like noting my color codes. Because, like I said earlier, colors are very, very sensitive. F54246, F54246. F5. So because I use lines and I use arc and lines for this tongue, that's why I'm using the shape builder too. F54246. Let's do this. Then the inner one is 736357. 736357. 736357. And boom, we have it. So the mouth is done. So let me show you how everything looks now. Okay, so we have the stuff left. We have not painted the eyebrow. So that one, because that one is a circle, is a shape on its own. I don't need to use the shape builder tool for that because it's a shape. What I just do is just to take it and fill it straight up. What color did I use for the inner mouth? 736357. 736357. 736. This was the color here. Okay, yeah. There's this one. 736357. Okay, so we have that done. So let me just show you how. Let's open everything so that you can see. Can we all see this? So our face is complete. Now let's go to the body. So I'll be closing all this because I don't want anything to interrupt me. So let's go to the body. Now, one thing, like I said, because I'm not creating, you understand? Because I'm replicating this image, doing the body will be easy. But if I open the one I actually created, you can see that I had to, before I even created the shirt, I had to draw the outline of the body first. Let me zoom in so I can see. This was me doing the outline of the body. This is the outline of the body. Can we all see this? Hi, everybody.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So this was me doing the outline of the body. Then I came here and I actually created the outline for the shirt after doing the outline for the body. So that is if you are creating something new, something fresh. You understand? You can see that I had to do the outline of the body first. This is it. This is the outline. This is one of the outline here. I have to do the outline of the body first before actually doing the body with the shirt. Let me show you. Here, look at this one. This is the complete one before I colored it. But now, since we are replicating an image, we don't need to go through all this stress. We don't need to go through all this stress. We'll just trace out whatever we need to trace out, and you know, and work with it. So let's start. So I'll start with my act 2. For this point, why is it showing this? Oh, sorry. Something is wrong. Let me create another layer for body. I'll put this under the face. Layer. Sorry, body. This is where I want to work on now. Okay, yeah. So always make sure, like I said, you extend your lines. Always make sure you extend your lines because I'll be using the shape builder tool. So I must make sure that I'm extending my lines. I don't want anything to just disturb what I'm doing. So I create another one. Yeah, I think that was better. There was an extra when I was creating that, so there was an extra line. So the next thing I'm going to do now, create another line for this body. So I will extend this line. I will make sure that I'm extending this line. Always use your handles to align whatever you need to align. Always use your handles. They are very, very important. The handles are very, very, very important. I don't think this is on the right path. So this is okay. I move to the next one. Draw an actual line. Take my direct selection tool. Make sure the line is extending because I will need that line at the end. So it doesn't give us issues. Amazing. So let's go to the neck. Well, the goal was to finish this class by 12, but I think that beginning part, introducing, really, it was important that I let you know how to use each of those tools. Very important. So that was what took our time. It's important that everybody knows how to navigate around those tools and know their functions. Sorry, this part is not making me comfortable. Yeah. Sorry. So I think I'm done with the first part of the neck. You can see how I'm extending those lines. Then I do the second part. I can always copy. I think I should just copy and paste it rather than waste time creating a fresh. No, let me create a fresh one. I have my reasons. What just happened? Okay. Okay, so let me adjust. Let me make some adjustments. Just if you have any questions, let me know. I'll really, really appreciate your questions. And so you can see how I'm doing it. So if you want to create something original and you want to create a body, you can always do it like this, you know. Always do it like this. Then what else do we need to do? The stomach, the baby stomach. Cancel. So I'm going to use two anchor points here. So that's the first one. Move to this point, do the same thing. You know, babies have very, very big stomach, so that's why. And their chest is always puffy. I even don't know why I chose to create a baby. I don't know, but then so I move to this part of the stomach, the actual stomach, not the chest now. Not the chest. So you can see that I'm extending this particular line down because I will need that line. I will need that extension for something which I will show you. Move to the other part. This looks okay. Okay, so that's for the stomach. I didn't extend that line. Let me extend this because I need this. I need this extension. Um, then move to the hand. Like baby's hands are always chubby, very chubby, and so there was actually a line here. If you check when I showed that body, you notice that I did that. This represents the inner body. Sorry. Sorry. Then for this part. So once you can figure out how to use these things and how to go around all these things, you can always use Illustrator without even needing to have a background image. You understand? It's important that you learn the basics before you get involved in whatever you want to get involved in. It's important that you know the in and out of how to do whatever no the in and out of whatever software you're using. Even if you are using Procreate, you need to know the basics of those tools, those apps. So once you can do this and you're confident about it, trust me, you don't need to start doing all this replication. You can create your own thing directly. You can do your own thing, do your own art. And one thing about art is that art is not restricted. It is not limited. You can create whatever you want to create, whether it's a ugly looking object, ugly looking whatever. It's not restricted at all. Do whatever you want to do, whatever you are happy doing, whatever you're happy doing, and just have fun. Just have fun, like have fun. Yesterday, MB was talking about people selling NFTs of just some ugly, ugly stuffs for about 1 million dollars. So you can imagine. So just have fun doing whatever you're doing. You don't have to follow the rules. You understand? The rules of I'm not talking about the rules of the software. I mean the rules of art. Like, oh, you have to draw your eyes like this, you have to draw your nose like this. No. You have to draw your body like this. You don't have to follow the rules. Just do whatever you're doing and have fun. Have fun doing it. Enjoy what you are doing. People will buy art regardless of how it looks like. Hey, no. Can't see this handle. I think I should just shift it up. Why are the handles hiding? Okay, so I've done this part of the hand. I move to the other parts. At least by 12:30, I want to have been done with this stuff so that don't waste too much time. Please, if you have any questions, do well to ask while I'm here tracing out whatever I'm tracing. If you need clarification on anything, please just do well to ask your questions. This doesn't need so much adjustment, but then the hand. And I would like to just say this. It's not bad to actually look for references. And what do I mean by references? Like, in case you are drawing something and you don't have an idea of how that thing looks, you understand? It's not bad to go on the internet to actually search on how that stuff actually looks like. You understand? I would encourage everyone to always maybe you want to draw a shoe now and you don't even know how you can go about it. Go on the internet and study how a shoe looks, and let your mind replicate whatever. Once you have studied it, do whatever you feel like it's going to do. And I will also say this: don't limit yourselves to this. If you know you really want to get involved in this, don't limit yourselves to this class, this tutorial. Don't limit yourself. There are so many resources online on YouTube that you can use to learn and perfect whatever you are doing. So I think we are done with the body. So one thing I want to do now, like I said, the shape builder tool does not work when there is a space. And because I said there's space here in the stomach. So the only space is here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line over. If you check this thing, the body, you see that there are lines here, there was a line here, there was a line here. I'm going to do the same thing here because I want to use the shape builder tool for that purpose. But because I'm using the shape builder tool, assuming I'm using a paintbrush, you understand? Like I said, I will not need to do that line. But because I'm using a shape builder tool, that's why I'm doing the line. Let me extend this one a little bit. Sorry. Because I want to use the shape builder tool to color rather than using a paintbrush. That's why I don't need it. That's why I'm drawing those lines over these images. Over those stuff. So I want this line to extend because I need to. Shape builder is very sensitive, so I don't want anything to spoil our. So now we have everything. I highlight everything minus this, and I will make sure our shape builder works. Thank God. So let's start moving the excesses. Sorry. Sorry. Key. I remove this. I remove this. I don't need you. I don't need you. I remove this. I don't need you. I remove this. I remove this. So this part is quite sensitive. I remove this. I don't think I need you. I don't think I need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. So you have to be careful because there's some parts that looks like you're very, 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 very sensitive. So I don't need you. Okay. Amazing. Yeah, you're on track. I don't need you. I don't need you. But I should leave these breast parts. Let me see. Let me see if it will work. I'm leaving those lines. I just want to try something else. I don't need you. 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 Then so don't forget to remove this excesses. Just click on Alt key. Don't need you. I don't need you. Yes. So I think we are done. There's nothing else we need to do. Yeah, we are done. So I added one particular stroke. Because this one is shorter, let me just try and use the scissors to cut this out. Yeah. So no, that was too much. Let me use the scissors to just cut it out a little bit. I might. So we have the body. Body is complete. Control A. Control A. Shift. I click Shift to remove this part because I don't need this part to be part of the whole stuff. So I group it. I can also remove the excesses here, but then there's a way I'm going to show you how to export. I will show you how to export in such a way that this gray part of the artboard is not going to show. So that I'm not bothered to remove that part. So let's color. Let's color this thing. So I need that. I need the skin color. Skin color is FFCC99. I think I already know that offhand. FFCC99. We have FFCC99, FFCC99, FFCC99. So let's color. Let's look for something blue for the body. This is too blue for me. Let me check one of my color codes. Background printed. Sorry. Sorry about this. I want to use this color, this sky color, so that's why. Something happened. Oh, there's a mistake. Oh, so I noticed that this part seems to be. Yeah, there was an error here. Let me see where the error came from. But this part is not supposed to be shaded. So let me see. I think I guess it's from this part. So I'll just manipulate it because I don't have time to start. Start. So it's not this part. It's not this segment. Where could the mistake come from? It could be from this part. Let me try and see. So you can see that it's not from this part. So it's from this part, this point here. From this point here. So I'll just use these lines to. Hey, I'll use the lines to block it. That line. I'll use it to block it. So what will I do? I click on my object, I click on the line, and I use the shape builder to. Yeah, amazing. So I use the shape builder to remove this part. Okay, thank you. I click on something. Yeah, because the reason I needed that color. I remember that I used that color for something, so I want to use the color for the body, for the shirts. So then I use a darker color for the for the color and the. So what I just do here, I'll just adjust this point, this color. See why I said that colors are very sensitive. Colors are very sensitive for the color, and because I don't want the color and this point to be the same thing. Colors are very sensitive. That's why I am noting down these color codes, because colors actually change. So please, I hope we are here. I would like to hear somebody speak. I would really like to hear somebody say something.
Yeah, we are together.
Okay, thank you. So now we have the body. I think everything is complete. Now let's put on all our elements. Let's put everything on. And boom, we are done. Apart from the hair. So let's do the hair before we finish everything, before we remove this background. The background has done whatever we need to do. So I showed you this spiral tool. You might not find the spiral tool when you what happened? So one thing about the spiral tool, that you might not find that spiral tool when you. Okay, it's because it's invisible. Yeah, I get now. You might not find that spiral tool when you open your Adobe. So let's go to this place, these three dots that I selected here, edit toolbar, and you will find spiral tool here, somewhere around here. So you always find spiral tool there. So let's I need that face. Sorry. I need that face. Okay, let me just open everything here. So I need that. I don't need the face. Let me work on the background. So I'll just put a line over here to cut this part. I'll put a small line. Put a small line. Then select. Use shift to select all of them. I'll use shift because I don't want to drag it. So I'll just use my. Just use this. Not this. I don't need the rest. So. Boom, boom, boom. We are done. Oh. Let me shift this particular element to the face. Yeah. So I put on everything. Gang, gang. We are done with our. We are done. Our baby. So I think what's left is for us to. There was an error here, which I need to make adjustments to on the body. Sorry, guys. I am very sorry. Oh, you know what? I'll just draw a line over it, so I don't stress us. Or just let me just click shift control. So there's supposed to be a line here, and I was trying to like where our line is appeared to. That's why I wanted to, but then I'll just draw a very tiny line, so as not to waste your time. Normally I'll have redone everything, and I also forgot to actually save the body. You see why I said that it's good to save some of these parts. I said it's good because you don't even know where you make one mistake and boom, you are now recreating whatever you did. Nobody has time for that. We need to know how to save. So I will advise always save the part that you know that so because I want to group everything. So always save all these parts. It doesn't give you stress at the end of the day. Or I'll just extend that particular one. Let me just extend this because of time. So we are done. Yeah. Oh, let's leave it like this. We are done. Let's just leave it like this. Let's just leave it like this. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's better now. So this is what I really wanted. So we are done. So I think the last thing is just the background, right? So we are done with everything. So you can see how we recreated this image. How we recreated this image. So let's just do that background I did using the gradients. Using the gradient tool. Let's just remove it. And so this background is, so I don't need this outline again. Thank you. We don't need you anymore. So I'm going to create a new one. Let's create a new one here. And now let's fill it with these gradients. Don't worry, I'll show. So this is how to go about it. So I don't want this particular gradient type. I want this one, this scattered one, where I can do a lot of wishi on it. So I want to open a particular document. Let me open this document, this Afen projects. So I want to use this color codes for forever. I don't want to start copying color codes, so I want to just copy this. Or you can just even use the same background, but I want to show you how to go about it so that you can learn how to use the gradient tool. So we are done. Though we're almost done. So let's start. So one thing about the gradient tool is that there are always points. You can see these points here. Can we all see these points? These points you can change the color of those points. So let's start with this one. Let's change to this pink, that baby pink, FFBDB. Color has changed. I see the color has changed. Let's take this one, make it the yellow, FCFDFD. FCFD, okay. The color has changed. Let's make this one the blue, CFDFF. Let's make this one the green. So one thing about that scattered gradient is that you can also add more points to those. Let's make it green. B7 ECCA. Yeah, so I want to add more points so that it look really, really colorful. I'll make this pink. FFDBDB. I'll make sure just be adding your points, add whatever you want to add to make it very colorful, very bright. Understand? FC FD. Like I said, if you are a color person, you don't need to go through the stress of color codes. And for me, I'm not a. I need, like I said, for me, colors are very sensitive for me, and I don't want errors. I don't want something to be looking somehow. I always note my color codes, and if you feel that's going to be fine by you, you can also follow that step. D1 F9. So let's just stop at this, and this is amazing. Understand? So let's take our layer and open everything so that you all can see how it is. So now we are done. We are done. So I want to advise you guys that you should replicate this image. Oh, we are not done. One last thing, shadow. But then I'm not going to really do too much on that because shadow takes time. So the shadow, so I'm going to show you two things about shadow now. Yes, shadow. How did I forget? So let me create another template. I want to show you something. Let me create something. So one thing about shadow is, shadows help with snow. If you look at the image I created earlier, you will notice that. Let me copy and paste this here. Let me align on the shape. Sorry, trying to make this aligned. I want it to be the same position. That is why I'm trying to copy and paste this down. This to be in the same position. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm copying the position of this since they are the same group. I'm copying the position of this and making sure everything is the same because there will be things I'll be copying and pasting and I don't want it to be scattered. So one thing about well, let me group this element first. Let me group this face. Okay. So one thing about shadow is amazing. It makes your work look realistic to a point. You understand? It makes your work look realistic to a point. So one thing about shadow is you can do this for shadow, but because our image has strokes, and what do I mean stroke? You can see these black lines that are showing. Our image has stroke, so it's not going to be possible to do this. So let me show you something that can help you do a shadow in the style I want to. Let me show you something. So I do this, Control C, I copy it, then I paste. So because I'm doing this because I want to create a shadow effect, on this artwork. So what I will do, my shadow color code, I already have a color code for shadow, is F5C292. So F5C292. So I will highlight this I will select this minus this thing, then take my shape builder tool. I'll take my shape builder tool and color this part. So let's say F5C292, 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 okay. F5C292. So I want to create like a shadow effect on this part of the image. But you will notice something now. So I created the shadow effect. Now let me remove this. You notice that there's a line automatically created. Like there was a line that was formed there because of what I did. Can you see the line? This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not how our image is supposed to be. Because of that shadow effect I did, this line was formed. And the reason is because we are working with stroke. You understand? We are working with stroke. But let me now show you an alternative. Let me show you an alternative. Rather than, if you just want to do it directly like this, you want to do it directly. Rather than work with stroke, just remove the stroke. I will show you how it will look now without stroke. I will show you how our image. Let me delete this. I will show you how our image will look without a stroke. I'll come here to remove stroke. Can you see this? See how our image looks without a stroke. Let me just I'm going to make this particular one. I'm going to turn F5C292 to F5C292. I want to change the color. No, that wasn't supposed to be the color. So I'm very sorry. I noted the color somewhere here. Somewhere here. That was where I noted the color. So I'm going to change the color of that thing so that it can show. So that this hair can show. And I will increase the point. Let me say I will increase the point to about 12. So that hair can show very well. Can you see it? I'll do the same for this mouth part. particular mouth part. So how I'm doing it, I'm selecting it multiple times to get attention, to get the attention of that part. I'll do the same thing here and increase the points. I will increase the points to 12 too. Can you see? So I will add that stroke to that stroke color and increase the point to about, let's say, 12 too. So now we have removed the stroke. Oh, the nose. I forgot the nose. How would I forget the nose? So now that I've done this, you can see that those parts are now showing. Now I want to shadow this image. Let me show you how I will go about it. Control C, Control V. So let's say our shadow is, what is the shadow color code again? Let me see. 256-292, 256-292. I'll select everything apart from the background and I'll make this 256-292. No, F5C. Why am I making mistake? F5C-292. And I'll create that shadow effect. I'll do the same thing here. You will notice that line, sorry, that line isn't showing again. I didn't complete it. I didn't complete the. Forgot to do the neck. Can you see it? So like there's a shadow that was created here. You understand? That shadow was, you can see that shadow effect is looking kind of though our ears has been affected by the whole shadow thing. But then if you want to do something like that, that's how you do shadow for an image that has no stroke. And for an image that has no stroke. You understand? But then our image, I don't want this thing. Though it's cute, it looks kind of 3D-ized. You understand? It looks kind of like, oh, like a 3D image. Though a lot of Nigerian illustrators, this is how they do their stuff. Or let me do another color so that you can understand better. Let me do something else so you can understand that what I'm talking about. So I don't want stroke. I don't want any stroke. Let me fill it with yellow with no stroke. So there are two colors now. But I want to create a shadow over this yellow. What will I do? Select both of them and just manipulate this color. Wait, let me click my shape builder tool. And just manipulate it. I'll just turn it to like a green. And I put it here. Understand? For sure there's like a shadow over this shape now. You can see two different colors. But this is because there is no stroke. But now we are working with stroke. What can we do since we are working with stroke? What can we do since we are working with stroke? The best thing to do is to use your paintbrush. If you want to create a shadow effect, the best thing is to employ your paintbrush. So this is why I said I'm here for both. At the beginning of this class, I was like, I'm here for both freehand guys and non-freehand guys. So if you want to create a shadow effect, the best thing, especially if you are working with an image that has stroke, that is these lines, the best thing is to work with your paintbrush. And to make that easier for you, this is what I will advise you to do. to make that so you don't have a situation whereby. So let me F5C292. I don't know why I'm forgetting this color code, but then F5C292. To make that easier for you, so I don't get a situation whereby this thing is looking very rough. Let me increase the point. So you don't get a situation whereby you see what just happened. You don't get a situation whereby these lines are entering those black lines, or it's just scattered anyhow. Especially if you're not a freehand person, this is going to be easy for a freehand person to do. But if you're not a freehand person, this is how I would advise you to go about it. Draw a line. Don't let it overlap the black line. Make sure your line isn't overlapping the black line. You understand? Adjust it to the points whereby you want that shadow to show. I want the shadow to be around here. And employ your paintbrush. So this will guide you and make sure that line, the color of that line matches the color of the shadow. You understand? So shadow, that you see what I'm saying, colors are sensitive, because shadows need a darker or a brighter shade depending on where where your artwork is facing, the position of your artwork. So you see that I'm using a darker shade of this particular color. This is what I'm saying, colors are sensitive. So you have to be careful. Let me increase the points. Sorry. I want to increase because they are. Let me just use another hair. Let me increase the size. So you can see this. So you have to be careful. Let these lines guide you to stay on track, so you don't push it out like this. Let these lines be like guidance. These two lines. So you have to be very careful when you are doing your shadow. See now, I've already done it over stuff, so you have to be very careful. If you can't use the big brush, reduce the size of your brush. Reduce the size of your brush to a smaller. Reduce the size of your brush, you understand, to something smaller. Do you understand? So, but then I'm not going to go to that size because of time. What I'm just going to do. So now that you know how to do, what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to copy and paste. I already did a shadow down. So I'll just copy and paste that shadow. You understand? I'm going to copy and so this is it. I already did my own shadow. I already painted it. It takes time. Especially if you're not a freehand person, it takes time to create that shadow effect. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'll copy and paste this. I will align it to the points I need it to be aligned. Understand? Copy and paste this. Align it. Then whatever point I need it to be aligned, then seems like my kidney has been covered, my ear, but then I will adjust that. My ear has been covered. I'll just bring that to the front rather than stressing myself out. V. Now I think it's better. So it has covered my ear. So what I'll do to the ear is I'll select it. Has covered my ear entirely. I'll select the ear and bring it to the front. I'll bring it to the front so it doesn't cover the whole. Okay, so let me bring it to the front now. I'll bring it to the front so I can show. This is showing. No. So you see that it has affected my ear. Or the best thing I can do is to shift my ear to that position. To shift the ear to that particular position. And so I'll just shift the shadow. This is one reason why I don't like working with layers, because normally the best thing I'll have done is to bring to front. That is what I'll have done on a normal day. Bring to front. But then I can't do that now because can't do that because I can't bring to front because. So what I will do is shift it to the ear part so that I know that. Oh, so you see what I did. So I had to bring it to the front because it was affecting the ear I created. The shadow was affecting the ear I created. So the next thing I'm going to do, because you will notice that that line on the shadow, there are lines showing. So I'll just apply the paintbrush. I'll deselect. This is why I don't like working with layers at all. Just no, I don't need not this color now. What is the color of the shadow? I will not forget F5C2. Okay. So I'll just no. F5C292. I want my stroke. I'll just color this place. Let me zoom in so I can see very well. It is not on the. It's on the background. So you see one of my why I don't really like working with strokes. It's just sometimes it just distracts me and doesn't make me work very well. Let me reduce the points, the roundness of this. Because of this, I don't want that black line to be affected. I will also, so anywhere I see that the shade is kind of different, I will adjust it and boom. I think this is okay. So I've achieved whatever I want to achieve with shadow. So this is how you do your shadow effect. Then I copy the other one. Let me just say, I hope this two will not affect the ear. Let me just. So we are done, but I just needed to emphasize on this shadow in case you want to. We are done with whatever we are doing, but I just need to emphasize on it and let you know how to always go about it. I think this one is better. Yeah, this one is better. So I'll just push it up a little bit or reduce it. Yeah. This is better. Which other one? The hand too. Let me just the hand. So if you want to do a shadow, like I said, do it on the use your paintbrush, create your shadow effect. Use your paintbrush, create your shadow effect, and achieve whatever you want to achieve. And like I said, shadows have color codes unique to them. Understand? Unique color code. So that is like I've been saying, and I'm saying again, color codes are very, very sensitive. Colors are sensitive. Colors are very sensitive. Colors are very sensitive. And I think this one is the last one. This one's yeah. I'll just change the color code. I don't need this one now. So I'm going to send this image to you to see how our stuff looks without stroke and with stroke. So you can always make your drawing strokeless or this thing. How stroke. And this color is good for shadow. If you have to look at it, it's not so bad. But that means if we are using this, we have to adjust the color of this particular one to something more darker. But then we don't have time for that, and we don't have so much time for that. So let me just. I'm noticing some things here, like it's kind of reducing. Let me just reduce it a little bit. We don't have so much time doing all that. I'll just change the color code to probably. Let me see what I can do first. Hey, I beg you. Let me know the color code. 67. So I'll just tweak the color code a little bit. 6787 CED. I'll just change the color code a little bit, make it darker. Because I want something dark. No, not feel. I'm not supposed to feel it. Sorry. I'm supposed to use the stroke, not the feel. 87 CED. I'll just make it adjust it, make it darker and darker, and I'll move this one down. And then boom. I think we have our color code now. Can you see it? Can you see what I did here? You can see that the color is kind of different. Color is kind of different. There are still some here. I think I did here and here. So all I need to do, copy and paste. Paste them in the right position. Align them to the position because there's no time. Trying to start shading one by one and trying to finish the sparks on time so we don't get tired. So what's the color code for this? The color code for this was. So always note your color codes, like I've been saying. Always note your color codes. Always note your color codes. Always note your color codes. Always note your color codes to save you a lot of stress. You can use the color picker, but what is the point of using the color picker when you can just every time when you can just note them down somewhere? And let me just fill this with this color. So put the text shadow shift. Sorry, I think I spelled that wrong, but then. So any question from anybody? I am done. Just trying to make some adjustments. Any question, any observation, anything you need clarity on, just can you let me know? Hello, are we still there? Seems like nobody's on the call anymore.
So, like I asked, can one use one's picture as reference image?
Yes, you can. No, you can actually use your picture. You're not restricted. You can use your picture as a reference and draw yourself. You understand? Just trace out the picture. You get? Just trace it out.
Okay.
So you can use any image. People that actually paint people's picture. Let me tell you the secret. People that you see that they do a painting of somebody. Exactly. This is what they do. They just put the picture and trace out the image. They reduce the opacity of that background and trace out the image. That's what they do. So you can do that. That is actually what people do. That is what they actually do for people who trace out image directly. Because you see that some people like it's looking cartoonish. You understand? It's looking cartoonish, but it looks exactly like that person. That is what they do. So and One more thing. One more thing. Hey, no, not this. Sorry. I want to make the strokes equal. I should have noted that before I even started doing some of these things. I think that should be the last. I don't want to focus on the backgrounds. I don't want to focus on these ones. I don't focus on this ones. I don't focus on this ones. I don't focus on this. So I want my stroke to be equal. So I'll come here and increase the stroke to about 8. So I have oh, I totally forgot that I actually painted some parts. See why some of these things you have to be careful. That's why you have to be careful with trying to figure out what this is here, why this is here. What else is this one? Okay. So see why you have to be careful with layers. Layers are very sensitive. Very sensitive. So you have to be careful. So is there any other question? Does anybody have any other question before we call this a day? Call this a day on here. Does anybody have any other question? Hello? But there's no question. If there's no question, let's just say no question. Well, I am still adjusting this. Let me do the points. Hi, is anybody on the call?
Yeah, I am. Please don't forget to drop the
Okay, I will drop it. I think that is all. We are done. So guys, we are done. So I think the very last thing is to export. We need to export right now. So now, like I said, there's a way I want to show you. You can export in 3 different ways, but there's a way I want to show you to export. I'll show you to export in such a way that these lines here, this excess that I did there. You understand? Because I actually need this line. I don't want it to go. So these exercises I did there, it will not show. So I'll just go to file. I'll go to file and export for screen. I'll call it blue shirt. So you can always change the format to PNG, JPG 100 and all. So I'm going to do both for PNG. I will export for PNG, and you see what we exported. And I'll also show you if you just export, if you do the other kind of exporting. I'll show you 3 types. I like selecting JPG 100. So let me show you the other one. We just say export as. Let's say Let me just put something random and I export. You'll see something. Yeah. I want it RBG. Yeah. Maximum quality. Yes. Baseline. Resolution. Show this one we export by. And I knew it's not export. I'll just do normal screen stuff. But let me just export it as a PNG. That one is always easier. Yeah, high quality. Yes, yes, yes. So I will show you something. Why is there unknown error? I'll show you something now. Why sometimes exporting should have exported. So let me show you what happened. So now you see that this one, the one I exported for screen, you can see what happened here. What did I say? I don't even know where this stuff is saved. Yeah, project. Okay, this is where it was saved. So you can see that this one, when I exported as screen, you can see how it exported. Those other elements do not show. But when I now exported normally, when I exported like export as, you can see all these elements decide to come up. So if you just want to focus on the screen, I would advise you to use export as, you understand? But if you want to focus like this, maybe you want to do very, very high resolution picture, you can export as or save for web, but remove all these excesses, remove all your excesses. Don't let any excess show, don't let anything show. So I think we are done. Let me save my image. Tutorial proper. Ctrl+S. Then let me see, and let me also save this one for those that let me save this one for those that want to learn without stroke. So I want you to know that you can always do with stroke and you can always do without stroke. So let me make it 13 so that they'll be equal. I'll also save this one. So we are done with this class. I will send the outline to you so that you can use it to practice. And when you practice, please let me see whatever you created. Let me see how you can change the color. Please change the color. Change colors. You don't have to do the exact color. Change the color, change whatever you want to change, and let me see how you did it. So thank you guys for having me. Thank you for I want to export this again. Thank you for the privilege, and I don't take it for granted. So I am done. I don't know if Deborah is on the call. I don't know who's on the call.
Yes, Simi. I'm here. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot for the session.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that everyone should look out for the outline from Simi to help with all the practice that we need ahead of the final assessments. And I mean, so if anyone has questions as well, you could drop on Telegram.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and so I mean, details about what's it called? The recap from yesterday's session was uploaded on Notion already. This should be uploaded before end of day or latest by tomorrow. but everyone can keep tabs on past workshops, also details about upcoming workshops on the Notion schedule. And so if you have any questions, concerns whatsoever, please feel free to communicate that on Telegram group. And so I'll just say thanks to everyone for joining. I guess we will be having the next session at 4:30 with AY.
Yeah.
Right, Simi. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So just it's also good to note that active participation is very important for overall assessment as well. So please feel free to engage. Share tweets or comments in Telegram about what you've learned and all that. And just make sure you stay active. Checking your emails for further information and all that. But yeah, not to take so much time, I guess we'll just end this session here so that we have enough time to prep and relax before the session at 4:30. But maybe before we go, if anyone has any questions or comments before we leave, we can take that before closing the session.
So I don't think anyone has any.
All right. So in the absence of other questions or comments, I wish everyone an amazing day ahead, and I guess we'll see you at 4:30.
Yeah, by God's grace.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Bye, everyone.